Howdy folks, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Today what we're going to show you is how we break out and try to correct a wall here. What we have going on here, this is a brick chimney. Now this brick chimney, and how do I know it's brick? Because I've already tapped it with my hand and it's solid. And then they have a wall here. What's on the other side of this wall? Well, it's a closet. Now we've got a few things going on here. If you know what they are, you're more than likely able to fix it. Now what they've had here is they got a lot of buckling. And down here, this has been repaired 5-6 times in the last 30 or 40 years. The house is about 90 years old. So what we're going to do, guys, is exploration. Ooh, down here are some of the tools of the trade for exploration. It's a real drag, but somebody's got to do it. What I've told the homeowner is based on all the years I've torn off stucco, and believe me, I've torn off more than my share of stucco. It's kind of a drag, but somebody's got to do it. Anyway, what we're going to do first is we're going to take about 6 inches from here on this brick all the way up to where the parapet cap is. And we're going to come in here about 3 inches. What do I expect to see? Well, based on my past, I expect to see a moisture barrier, paper barrier come and touch the brick. Now, 90 years ago, they didn't do things the way they do them today, meaning the paper could go to here, and then there could be a metal flashing in here. It could have a membrane. It could have a peel and stick. We could have caulking, sealing that. There's a lot of things that can be done. When we open this, we'll find out. I told her what we'll do is we'll take it from here to here. And worst case scenario is, well, actually, next case scenario is this whole wall may be damaged because up here you have a scupper, and on top of the scupper you got a parapet. Now it's already proven that the parapet cap is leaking. And after 90 years, the sun bakes that parapet cap, bakes the paper, and it just beats it up. So hopefully we'll just take it here. We are expecting to go to here, and we haven't even crossed that bridge as far as going around this corner. But these scuppers here do tend to leak, especially when you take the paper around the protruding pipe. It should be caulked around that. Most times 90-year-old houses, I rarely see that. So we're going to open this up first, and again, if we need to take it from here to here, that's the next stage we're going. My opinion is, based on what I see here, water's been going here, getting on the brick, and it'll probably be pretty bad going here. And as far as wood rot, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I expect to see some form of wood rot, but right now, Jason and I are going to remove all this, and when we get to that stage, we'll show you. All right, guys, Jay's going to tap that stuff with a hammer at first just to see what the heck we are looking at. He's hitting an area that is already pretty loose, just so we can get an idea what we assume is going to be true. And we already knew that was a brick chimney there. Generally, you got a 20-ton chimney, and then an outer wall, which is about 5 tons. That chimney will sink in after 90 years. Difference in weight. As far as getting into the engineering factor, well, gee, again, 90 years and a chimney that's solid brick will settle, guys. I've seen it over and over and over. It'll settle 1/4 inch more than the existing, which will create the gap and in turn the leak. Anyhow, he doesn't even need to use our rotor hammer yet. We're going to use that when we get to the other side of the wall. Right now he's just loosening up on the brick, which the brick usually does pop off fairly well, especially after 90 years. When we get to the other side, he'll use the rotor hammer to break out as gently as possible.
Jason here. Our microphone didn't record this bit, but you can see me cutting the wire here left in the stucco after I broke it out, so we can assess the condition of the paper and the wood shear wall underneath.
Okay guys, we've done enough exploration where we can see what the heck is going on here. We've got a little bit of wood rot here. We won't know how extensive it is until we remove the rest of the stucco. The paper is deteriorated. It's a goner. At the very cap, that's probably the worst because it's been baked on. Here, this vertical line is pretty bad. You can see years now they've been using a fiber mesh tape to contain it. Worked a little well. What we're going to have to do now is, we already know this is bad here. Generally what happens is if it started from there, it'll come at an angle like a pyramid and get worse at the bottom. So we're going to start right here on the other side of this scupper where the downspout is, and try to contain it right here, and this whole section will have to come off. That's where we're going to go now. It's going to take us quite a few hours to do that, so when we get to that stage we'll show you what it looks like. Okay guys, I've uncovered enough now where I can see exactly what happened. These fellows who did this 90 years ago, they took the wire and came around here, which is good. They avoid a hairline crack if they take the wire around. However, they place nails in the grout, and what happened was water went through this stucco and just rotted this area out. That's a good and a bad thing, because if it were the parapet leaking, this whole wall would be bad, and it could mushroom around to this side or pyramid around to this side. The fact that they put concrete nails through paper, all it did was create leaks here, and it took 90 years for this to actually open up and allow the water in here. This is actually about 15 years of water right here. So we're at a stage now where I just happen to have a lot of wood at my house. I'm going to go get some 3/4 pieces of the same wood and just get rid of these guys here, tie them back in, and the rest of it up there, a little bit of greens clear, probably wouldn't hurt to stop that rot in its track. But anyhow, we're still going to remove it up to the parapet. Who knows what we'll uncover, but whatever it is, it's nothing we can't handle. We're about to take this truck right here to the dumps and get rid of this weight while I go to my house and pick up some wood. And then we'll show you how we correct this right here. I don't usually like to take the wire around. I could use some pressure washing, Weldcrete, and seal this area up a little bit different than what these fellows did. Okay guys, the homeowners asked me, Kirk, what would you do as far as the pieces of wood that were bad? And I said, me? I'd spend the $200 on new shear rather than putting copper green on some of that deteriorated stuff and guessing. So that's what they did. They put all new shear. That's the way to go, guys. It's like $200. You can't beat it. Anyhow, here's what the fellows before me did. They took the paper and they put it on top of the brick. Now you see all these nails here. These nails, they put it like this, and the idea was they put nails through the paper. So obviously nails in grout, all it does is rip this. Here's the way we're going to do it. We're going to take pieces of paper similar to this size here, and we're going to fish it in here. And generally, I've been on the inside of this wall here, and that's what we want to do. We want to fish it in there, and then we make room for our next sheet. Our vertical overlaps, I like a foot and a half. So my next piece of paper is going to go from here all the way over here. And how am I going to handle this differently from what the other folks did? I'm going to fill this with a polyurethane caulking, and then I'm going to put an exterior corner. I'm going to fasten that corner to here, and I'm going to float it right on this brick. When I get it all done, I'll show you guys what it looks like. And there's the big difference of why this failed. It's a common mistake, and it could have been avoided, but if it was avoided, I wouldn't be here today. Okay guys, we have some more technical difficulties with the sound, but I'll just explain it. Now, what we done is we took the paper and went behind the studs through the brick. It came out the other sides about 1.5 feet. And what I'm explaining right here is caulking. I took about close to 6 tubes on this, and I squirted it in that hole there. Right now, what you see me doing is fastening off the wire. And with the self-furred mesh wire I'm using, it's a 17 gauge, and yes, there is a way it goes on. You can put it on backwards, which will defeat the whole purpose. You won't get the fur. It'll tend to hairline crack more. Now I'm grabbing a piece of corner aid, And this is the way I like to do a brick to wall. Notice the caulking is in there and it's deep in there. So those exterior corners that I'm holding right now, I'm opening it up. Because if I didn't open it and I fasten it to the wood, then it would stick too far away from the brick. Now it's on the brick, and I'm taking my handy dandy Senko gun there and just fastening it well. The other side is floating on the brick, but that doesn't matter. The idea is we won't get a hairline crack there because it's tied in. If I just took the wire right to there and didn't tie it in, we can get a hairline crack. Of course, right there I'm just cutting loose wires. And as far as where it's going right now, I'm just explaining lath and how the stucco is embedded in that, but that's for another day. The brick has got to be clean in order for it to adhere. I'm sure I'm at the stage now where I'm going to tell you folks, my name is Kirk, Jason on the camera, and as usual, we'll probably see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Cool beans.